Hi there! So today we're going to go ahead and talk about the modern job hunt and everything that you need to know as you're entering into the workplace. And then for this particular assignment, you'll have a few options to try finding the perfect job or internship or program that you want to apply to for this project. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So one of your first options that you have to think about and consider is networking. Networking is a really common way of, getting the ball rolling, finding people who are industry professionals, and making those connections. This can start off something really small, like at a party or a conference and just talking with somebody, or at something much larger like a career fair where you have people actually trying to actively recruit and make those partnerships. This can also include social networking sites, things online, not necessarily directly face-to-face, and this is meeting other professionals through LinkedIn, Twitter, any other site where you're communicating via the web. And networking in general helps you as a professional gain information about your industry, especially if you're just starting to enter it. It also helps you meet new and influential people and create opportunities through contacts. So moving on. Another option that you have is to just go directly to your dream job. This mostly happens when you know the company that you want to work for, you know the position, and maybe you can't find anything on the traditional site. So you go to maybe the corporate website, and a lot of those tend to have actual employment sections where they don't necessarily advertise on other systems. So we'll go ahead and take a look at an example. This one is just Penguin Publishing. So let's say I want to enter into the publishing field, but I can't find anything on Monster or anything. So I go to maybe a company I'd want to look at. You go to their corporate site, just a general Google search, and you can usually find at the very bottom of the page in small text their employment section. And here is where you'd be sent to an area where you can find many different jobs or internships, and they have their own searching house. Which is pretty interesting to kind of go to. If you can't find anything on the actual job site, you can also send in a polite email. You can go in face to face. The worst thing that happens is they say no, they're not hiring, but sending a professional correspondence, inquiring about any positions or internships is a good way to go as well. So internships, these are unpaid or paid entry-level type jobs. You're mostly taking it to gain skills and experience in the field that you want to eventually enter into. So for myself, I interned as an editor, a copy editor on with a few different groups, and this was both were unpaid, but they helped me actually get skills to put onto my resume. I had references. Sometimes you can also find internships at larger industries where you can be paid for it, either in a stipend or an hourly wage. But it really is dependent. A lot of these can lead to possible job opportunities, either through the direct company that you're interning with, or through having now these wonderful skills on your resume that can lead you to a better entry-level job in the position that you're hoping to seek for. So I have a few different websites that I'm going to walk through, all of which kind of break the traditional Monster mold, as I say. This is, Monster is what you generally think of automatically when you are applying for a job. You're going to go and search through. The bad thing with it, while it does have a lot of great opportunities, is you can kind of get bogged down or lost in the machine because, there's thousands of other applicants in that whole system. So some of these are up and coming and kind of different websites and groups. So the first one, MindSumo, is for college students. This is a little bit of a new take on internships where you can earn money. You can make connections with larger companies, and you can earn money, or you can earn money in the form of a scholarship or a stipend, and also you can just earn references as well. So we'll take a look at this site really quickly. So you have a lot of huge Fortune 500 companies that come in here. They have different projects for you to kind of take a look at. They're usually called challenges, or you can look for freelance work. You see the type of money that you could win. Some of them are just taking some quizzes. Some of them are kind of you're the users or testers for some new advertisement campaign or something that they're doing, or maybe they're trying to get in a new. They're trying to get ideas from you. So maybe reimagining mobile banking. What would you like to see? You kind of come up with like a proposal, or you write up something, and you could possibly win, and you can make connections that way as well. Hired is a startup, Silicon Valley type startup, made for engineers, data scientists, designers, project managers, any of those sorts of positions, and you're matched with up and coming or bigger, larger companies that are currently hiring. So you will, answer some questions. You set up an entire profile, and then once you have that done, companies take a look at you're in the system, and they can go ahead and take a look at it, and they'll send you an offer. This is something to think about down the line as you are actually entering in, and not necessarily something that you would do for this class where we're just using it as a model, since you won't really hear anything about the job until you go through the entire process, but it's something new and something to kind of think about. Inbound is a marketing group. It's a lot like LinkedIn, actually, and it's just a general community where you can find jobs, articles, events, tools. You can make connections that way. They have a fun little site, and it's pretty easy to navigate once we get here. So yeah, we can join as a membership. You can find other people. You can join different groups. We can hear about, and you can read these different articles, and then you can also find jobs, which is nice to have as well once you sign up. So moving on, Talent Zoo is a pretty fun website. It's a job search engine. You can find it mostly for marketing, advertising, and design jobs, some creative ones, web professionals. They offer both freelance and permanent opportunities. I think they call it Z-Lance when they're offering that. But they also have permanent opportunities. I think they actually use, when I've used it before just to kind of look around and play around with it, I think they kind of use some larger search engines to find it, but this is just a good way to really narrow it down, and they do a lot of the hard jobs for you, especially if you're looking for a specific area or a specific job and sector to go ahead and look at. The Muse, you guys will be reading a short multimodal type infographic reading from them later on this week. They also offer jobs kind of through a different search engine. They hook potential job seekers up with small up-and-coming companies, sometimes a little bit of larger ones. These are definitely the groups seeking younger, fresh talent, and it allows you to actually go ahead and make a name for yourself early on. So you can start as like an entry-level job, you can gain a lot of experience and work up within a company. They also are, just the epitome, if you look at a lot of the jobs, of the, cool, modern, hip jobs or job office type of a place. So we'll look here. So we have, you can be, they have lots of different engineering jobs, design, and marketing jobs as well. You can do a specific search for one. You can kind of see here of some different jobs that are available now. This one has another search engine once you sign in, search and filter. Here it is, thank you. And you can type in the location you're wanting, keyword, right, if I'm looking for editor. And we can see here, a bunch of different jobs as well, starting off, as a mid-level job, senior level, entry level as well. All of that is really dependent. And then the last one is just a fun one that I wanted to talk about. It was one of the weirdest things that I've heard of so far, but it's one of those, new modern ways in which people could actually find a job. Not necessarily one that you would maybe want to use for this class, but it's fun to talk about. It's called FUBAR. It was a hiring process thought up by Google, mostly directed towards recent grads or current students in computer science or engineering. And it was a window, much like the one here at the bottom of the screen, that popped up after you made certain searches using certain terms, keywords, all those sorts of things. You get this. You would do some challenges, and if you actually passed all of their challenges, which got progressively harder, they would offer you a job at their site in Silicon Valley or some of their other ones. So that was a fun one. I'm not even sure if it still exists anymore, but it was something. It's something to kind of think about, especially thinking of a modern sense of where you can actually find a job and new ways in which that's happening. So that's all I have for you now, kind of just walking you through some new and interesting ways in which you can find a job. If you are having any questions about this week's discussion board activity, this presentation, or this week in general, go ahead and post those to the Writers Lounge, and I'd be more than happy to answer them for you. So make sure you go ahead and participate in this week's discussion, and I look forward to seeing all of your posts. All right, bye.